It's working now.
So the good news for you is that I'm not going to do a panel about Attack on Titan, but they're bringing in a couple of people, and I think it's Josh Grelle and Bryce Papenbrook.
Some guys, I don't know.
And I feel that they may be more qualified to speak on Battle of Titan.
What's up, guys?
Guys?
What up? Hey, yo! Yo. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch. I'm streaming right now, so say hi. What up? Join the Scouts. We have cookies. Yes, we do. Slay the Titan Scourge. Get snickerdoodles. That's how they recruited us. I know, right? That's what happened.
Food shortage. Risk your life.
Snickerdoodle.
Everybody having a good time today? Great Saturday? Awesome. Who else has been here since Thursday? All day so far. All right, rock on. You're the heroes.
Just gonna leave
Still
this
alive.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Is it working?
Woohoo! Yeah! Enjoy, guys!
So we got, oh my gosh, we got a lot of people in here. What's the capacity in here?
That's a great question.
A lot. That's the capacity.
Full.
So welcome to the Attack on Titan. Who are you?
I'm this guy, I don't know if you know him, his name's Aaron Yeager. Who has seen all of Attack on Titan Season 1?
Season 1. All right,
nice.
Everybody.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay, who has seen all of Attack on Titan Season 2?
All right.
Awesome, so not everyone, so we'll try not to spoil Season 2.
As much as we can.
And who has read all of the manga? Okay, all of you don't say anything.
Yeah, just shut up right now.
Nothing. No manga spoilers for us. Someone told me that you got spoiled in some way. Don't tell me how.
I know.
But
I had the entire thing spoiled.
Oh my gosh.
The entire thing. I'm excited now that I know, especially I know some stuff about Armin, and I know some stuff about the Titans and and all that stuff. But at the same time, I was like, dude, I wanted to this was my anime Game of Thrones. I didn't want to know what was going on.
You didn't mention Eren. I feel like Eren's gonna die again. But they can't kill him twice, right?
Dude, hell with
and it's like
I'm pretty sure if he died again, no matter where he went, heaven or hell, they'd just be like, this guy's too intense. Just send him back.
Dude, come on, get out of here. Get out.
He's the red shirt of the series.
Yeah. But he regenerates super fast.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
So it works out a little better.
Yeah, exactly. And wait, did you say who you were and what your role in the series is?
I play Armin Arnert and the narrator of Attack on Titan, which is kind of weird because it's like Armin's telling the story.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just like, I know I
live. Unless he's telling the story from beyond the grave.
I know, right? Or it's like we're gonna catch up to him at some point, and it's just gonna be like, I've been writing this inside a Titan's stomach. My last testament. I hope that when he spits me back up, someone finds this. Man, so when we've been doing this now, we've been coming to cons together and doing this now for 4 years? 4 years now?
Yeah, time flies. It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Really crazy.
When you were first cast, and you were you were coming from LA, so
yes.
you got the audition and got to audition from LA.
I got to audition out of sheer luck. I was a fan of the show before the English dub started. So I was talking to Patrick Seitz about the show, and he knew I was a fan, and Patrick got the audition from Mike.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, can my buddy Bryce read for the show? He kind of likes it. And Mike's like, yeah, sure, let him read, no problem. So I got the auditions, and I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And I went and bought soundproofing for my booth at home.
Nice.
Because I knew I was going to scream really loud, and my neighbors would probably call the cops on me. So I think they still heard me through
I'm sure.
through that soundproofing. It didn't do its job.
Dude, we hear you through the booth whenever you're at the studio.
In Texas?
Yes,
From my
yeah.
booth at home in LA?
Yeah, it's like, oh, Bryce is here. I'm like 30 minutes away at home, just like, oh, Bryce is in town. Sweet.
Yeah, Aaron kind of speaks in scream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's just really loud.
Yeah, he has no volume control.
Neither do I.
You'll fit right into this panel.
If he's not yelling, it's that seething, just, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Like,
Death, kill. I would get into character every day, especially in season 1. Season 2 was very different because I recorded from LA. But for season 1, I would fly out to Dallas, and then I stayed with Mike. And we would drive to the studio every day, and you know Mike listens to metal music.
oh, yeah.
So yeah, just like into the studio, and then 8 hours of as Aaron Yeager. Yeah, it was good times. It was good times.
It's the most metal warm-up ever.
Yeah. What was your experience through the auditions?
It was, I mean, lucky enough to get for them to just consider me, to have me on the audition list, because I know that, I think it was like a 3-day process.
Yeah.
So they could only see so many people, and so I was one of the people that put on the list, and I went in, I read for Armin first, then Aaron, then Levi, just to kind of do the range or whatever.
Good choices. That's what I chose also.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But Armin was the one I was gunning for, and
Gotcha.
then a week of nothing.
Yeah.
Silence, and then we get. Then I get the call just from my agent. That was like, "Hey, they need you to come in for the first episode for Titan, or the first couple of episodes. They need you in for this many hours."
Yeah.
And I'm like, who has that many hours? It's who would I get? And I even you asked them, it's like, did they tell you who I got? No. Click.
That's it. Yeah.
It's just like I have to wait another 4 days before I find out who the hell I'm playing, and I get there, and I was there 15-20 minutes early, and Mike came out early section. He's like, hey, has anybody told you yet? And I was like, no. He's like, awesome. Well, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be Armin. And I swear to God, I pulled a U. I was I screamed so loud that
We were standing right in front of him.
Yeah, I was standing right in front of the building. I screamed so loud that everybody in the booths heard me, and damn it, really. So yeah, super stoked. And of course, when we get in there, and the very first episode is itty bitty Armin. Mm-hmm. She's like, can we please tell? I know that he gets older, but do I still have to stick with this voice for the whole thing for 24 episodes? It's like, no, we're gonna make him older. It's like, thank God, because screaming as kid Armin would have killed me.
Yeah, to do every episode as itty bitty versions of ourselves. I want to play Titan Aaron as itty bitty Aaron.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Junior high, junior high versions. That would be great.
Kill them all, roar!
Aaron, no!
So there was this constant joke that would run throughout the whole series. Aaron would be like, I'm gonna go kill them right now. And then Armin and Mikasa would be like, Aaron, no. Aaron, shit.
Aaron. I'm gonna wipe your nose in it.
No. And then it just it kept getting worse and worse, and eventually it turned into, Aaron, no! So I'd say something, I'd be like, kill the Titans, Aaron, no! There's probably 20 bloopers of me doing that.
Yeah. Oh my God. And we had to find ways to entertain ourselves because it was so freaking dark doing that whole show. And we never really did a bunch of super goofy stuff recording, I don't think, because we kept in the moment and the spirit of it. But oh my God, did we need to laugh in between takes, at the very least. And then we got to do junior high, and it was all of that pent up energy got to just be released in a show.
Yeah, we call it Attack on Titan Muppet Babies. I mean, your character in Attack on Titan Junior High is just ridiculous. Has anyone given you a security blanket?
No, nobody yet has even cosplayed Armin with a security blanket. And someone told me that they would soon in a couple of cons, but I have seen Armin in the bunny girl outfit.
Ooh.
Would you like a cheeseburger?
Like that makes me happy.
Little bunny, come here. I'm gonna squeeze your ears.
I love it. And I love just you with Aaron. Everything is so freaking intense.
Yeah.
Like, every line is the most important and intense thing that he could be talking about. It's like talking about losing his cheeseburgers is like is the same as humanity has fallen and the world wasn't.
Yeah. Oh man, who has seen Attack on Titan Junior High? Okay, so for everyone who hasn't, I'll give you like a scenario of me as Aaron in that show. Season 1, Attack on Titan, Episode 1. Aaron's mom is eaten, and he's screaming, "Ma!" Screaming for his mom. Mm-hmm. Attack on Titan Junior High, Episode 1. Aaron's cheeseburger is eaten. It's his lunch, and he screams the same way, "My lunch!" And it echoes the same way.
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous.
Check it out.
Yeah, I like the episode. There's this like volleyball episode or dodgeball episode.
Yes, it was dodgeball.
He gets hit in the face, and I got to do things like as he's like spinning around in circles. Like, it's super fun.
You got to do some of the most ridiculous, over-the-top, cartoony stuff in that show. Like Aaron's just ridiculous. He's bouncing off the walls every moment of those episodes.
I actually lost my voice during Attack on Titan Junior High because like the screams and the intensity were just as big or even bigger to play up the jokes. So like there's one moment where Aaron is like itty bitty Titan Junior High version of Titan Aaron carrying a boulder, and he's like screaming and going through that same emotion like in that scene, and yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, I bet.
We got to a certain point where like my voice just like went and like cut, and Mike's like, "Yep, that's good for the day," and we just cut it because it was crazy.
You have to tell the Mugyal burger, the burger story.
Oh,
like when y'all when y'all were recording the second half of it.
Oh yeah. So
Speaking of losing your voice, you might learn some voice acting techniques from today. And here's a good tip for you guys. If you want to scream like Eren Yeager, don't eat a mountain of sweet potato fries. Okay? So we get to this one part in Attack on Titan where this pole goes through Eren's shoulder, and of course he doesn't pull it out this way. He has to go like the other direction, like all the way through him. And as he does it, he lets out this big, massive scream, like his face is all distorted. So we get to this part, and Mike's like, "Hey, it's about lunchtime. Let's grab some food." So they say things are bigger in Texas. I'm from LA. I didn't realize like that's actually true. So we go to this place called Muya Burger. Do you guys have Muya burgers here? No. Okay, so I'll describe to you the food that I get. I get my burger, and then I order the large sweet potato fries, which comes on a tray and is like a mountain. So I eat my burger, and Mike and I split the large. I look later, it says it's for 4 people. We finished it. Like, it was gone. Those were good sweet potato fries. So we get back to the booth. I'm like, oh, what have I done? And that screen was the first thing up. So when you're recording, you get a couple beeps, and here's what it sounded like when I did that screen. Maybe the beeps for
you. Yeah, you got beeps. Beep, beep, beep. And then it's just silent, because you're in this soundproof room, and I look over, and Mike and the engineer are just dying of laughter. They're just cracking up. And he just comes on the mic. He has to hit a button to talk to me. He comes on the mic and goes, "Yeah, let's try that again." Yeah. And then... I physically could not get enough oxygen in my body to scream like Eren Yeager. Stay away from the mountain of sweet potato fries.
Awesome, man.
Did you have any moments during the recording of season 1 or season 2 that like really stood out to you? I mean, I know like of your performance, one of my favorite moments is the scream that you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think I heard a story of like how you like what you used to get that scream to come out. Like you like thought about something that happened to you in the past or something like.
Yeah. It's became a rumor on Tumblr because some friends of mine from high school apparently go to Tumblr now, and after the Scream got leaked, because when we were doing it on Toonami, Right Stuff released the DVD like a month early. Like, people were getting their copies like a month early, so people were putting up. We hadn't even aired that episode yet on Toonami, and people were just like uploading the entire series on like YouTube and stuff. So the Scream got leaked.
Gotcha.
And then on Tumblr, they posted a clip of it, but no context. Wasn't even the video or whatever. It was just an MPEG of the Scream.
Gotcha.
Nothing else. And so, like, of course, it starts off, we were like, he sounds like Aaron just threw a spider at him. And which, within like 5 minutes, somebody's drawn it and made a GIF out of it and a full, like, little animated feature. And, that blew up. And that's when my friends from high school apparently found it. We're like, oh my god, this is hysterical. The last time we heard him scream like that, he was being pushed down the hill in a shopping cart. Which is true. And in a lot of ways, that's kind of where that scream comes from. Because in small town Texas, in the population of 3,000 people in the summer, there's not a lot to do, so we film our own jackass stunts. And I got pushed down the hill in a shopping cart. Was not expecting it, and that's where the Armin scream first happened. But the doing the scream itself, it was memorable. I remember being terrified about doing it because it was such an iconic moment, and I didn't want it to sound we knew it had to sound guttural, and it had to sound just real and visceral and stuff. So it can't be like those controlled Dragon Ball power-up screams. It can't sound cool. It has to sound like, oh my god, I just saw my best friend die, and it's my fault. And so we had to skirt the line between okay, how does this sound right? And instead of sounding ridiculous, and was really afraid going into it, and I think we did it 3 or 4 times before we were just okay, no, that's the one, we're gonna go with that. And then someone actually came up to me today. I didn't know this, but apparently the Scream was voted best ringtone of 2013. It's just what?
Oh my god!
I hope that some kid smuggled that into his classroom and just forgot to turn it off, and his phone just in the middle. She said, when the one who told me said, "Oh, I took it into church one day and forgot to turn it off," and then that happens. It's
oh my gosh! She would never miss a call.
I know, right? It's just 5 Hail Marys. And but the most memorable for me is the speech is really cool, the one in F9.
Yeah.
But the moments leading up to it, for me, are the most memorable for the character, because that's the moment where he realizes, that's where his biggest growth happens in that season. I think that's where everything really changes for him, because he ceases to think, oh, Aaron and Mikasa see me as a burden, and like I'm this useless friend that they have to protect and be there for, and I'm not good for anything. I'm the only person who's been thinking that. I've been my own worst enemy, and they really see me as somebody worthwhile, and just that simple realization. Once he has all those doubts and everything shoved aside, you see his true courage and his true potential, and it's just okay, now Armin's in the game. That's one of my favorite moments.
That's awesome.
What about you for Aaron?
There's a lot of really good moments for Aaron. I think you were talking about being sort of intimidated before you went in and did that scream, and I had a moment like that in this latest season.
Okay.
And without spoiling anything, there's a moment where Aaron is just kind of broken. And it's this very strange emotion that he feels, where he's crying and he's laughing and he's screaming and he's doing all of this stuff at the same time. And the animation is so he's has these violent flaps where he's just talking so fast and then crying again. And I saw it in Japanese and I was just oh no. I'm going to have to put myself through that. I'm going to have to get to that headspace, and I don't know what it's going to sound like or what's going to happen to me when I do that. And I was at a con with Trina. Mm-hmm. She had just recorded her side of it. And then it was the weekend of the con, and then I was going in to record it that next week.
Uh-huh.
And she came up to me and she's like, dude, what are you going to do? and I was just I don't know yet. I don't know what's going to happen when I go in there. I jumped in the booth that day, and my lines, our script is on a screen on one side, and then the picture is on the other side. So my lines took up the entire screen, and there was still more under it. And the way that this part was, we couldn't go line by line.
No.
So I did it as a run, meaning I performed that entire final scene, in that final episode. I did that whole thing without stopping.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult. I basically memorized all the flaps and all the emotions and all the little things, and just kind of tried to get myself into that headspace and just kind of did it.
Yeah.
And what came out, I was really happy with. But I left the booth that day and I'm like, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. And
you nailed it.
Thank you.
You nailed
Thank you. Yeah, the next day I got a call from Trina, and she's like, I was driving home from work. I'm like, hey, Trina, how's it going? She's like, so I saw the scene. I'm like, oh, how, what'd you think of it? And she said for the next 20 minutes, dude, it was so good. Like just over and over, dude, I loved it. It was so good. It was so. I walked in there and watched it, and I was crying. It was so good. So like, I was so happy that came through. Like, I was so intimidated by what I was about to put myself through, and I don't think I've felt that with any other show before. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you rocked it, man.
Oh, thank you. So you guys who haven't seen season 2 yet, watch out for that. It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
You want to turn it over to Q&A?
Yeah, let's do it.
Guessing quick. I see purple hat with buttons. What is up, bro?
Yo, Josh. Since you're both characters on Danganronpa, could you also consider this a Danganronpa panel? Also, side note, for the Armin stream, that actually happened to me. Basically, what had happened was I was in a college exam, and yeah, your Armin scream went like off, and I thought.
Wait, it's your ringtone?
Yeah, my ringtone was my alarm.
Do you wake up to the Armin scream? Like, what?
I've woken up to the Armin scream. I had to change that.
Wake up immediately terrified.
Oh my god! That's just like, oh god, what?
And so my teacher's like, what in the fuck is that? And like, I was just like, oh god, what?
What was the alarm for?
Like, it was I thought it was for to wake up for the exam. I had other alarms for other classes. I apparently forgot to turn them all off after I woken up. So I was like,
that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Total Schadenfreude, but dude, like, no, that makes me so freaking happy.
Also, for both of you, are you heavily excited for season 3?
Yeah. For me, like, this show is very similar to Lost in the fact where, like, you watch an episode and you learn something new, and that creates 2 more questions. So you're just more confused every episode you see.
Yeah.
So, like, after season 2, I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on.
What do you think's in the basement?
Just one.
Good stuff.
Yes.
One last thing for Bryce. If you want to, like, really have a competition with Aaron for screaming, Bakugo from My Hero Academia.
Oh,
okay.
That's another guy who screams just as much as Aaron.
Is that Cliff?
I think that's that's
cool.
red hair, white, or is that Briner? Is that the little kid?
It's blonde hair. He's like,
He blows stuff up?
That damn nerd today.
That's Cliff.
That's
Cliff.
Yeah. Another guy who's great at screaming.
Yeah. Dude, his Connie stuff, like him as Connie, he screams all. It's like everything he does. It's all high energy. This big SOB, so I'm get out of here.
He has some great lines.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I love Connie.
Yeah.
And Sights interacting with Connie is some of the best stuff. Like,
yes, just picking him up by his head.
Is your heart on your right side? The left. Yes. You pick.
Over here.
Hi,
Cat Noir.
I have a story similar to that one. It wasn't a college exam, it was my college psych course.
Wait, you have the scream as your ringtone also?
Not me, it was someone like sitting in my room.
Maybe it was the most popular ringtone.
That's blowing my mind, dude.
How many other people in this panel have used that as an alarm at some point?
Okay, I just had to ask, how many, by show of hands, how many people ever used the Armin stream as your ringtone?
Oh my god.
It wasn't the scream, but it was another line that you had. I had for my text tone for a while. The engineer texted some Armin lines. There was an, oh no, and I had that's my text tone. Aaron, no. I'm like, oh, got a text. Yeah.
What's your favorite food to eat?
Oh, sorry. She didn't finish her question. Let's go back to her, and then we'll jump back to you.
Which scream do you think is better, like louder?
What do you mean?
Just decibel-wise?
Yeah.
I think at a certain point you can't hear screams anymore, and that's like those two screams. Like, it's just too loud for human ears.
Yeah.
It's like a jet. If you were to scream at me, I'd be knocked over.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think my ears would bleed. Like I would be knocked out by the force of yours. But I would also feel just the pain that it feels like when you scream. So my throat would just give in. Like my throat was like, man, that made me bleed.
Like day one of recording for me with Mike. Like normally when you record, you like clean your mouth out with water and you try to make it so it doesn't sound like spitty and gross. And Mike made it very clear, like, I want this to sound nasty. And that's like what Attack on Titan needed. So like you literally hear like disgusting noises during my screams and during my reactions, like especially the one where Aaron gets kicked in the face by Levi. Like it sounds like I'm swallowing a boot. like which is perfect. He basically is swallowing Levi's boot.
I can't imagine like what you go through when you're doing the Titan sounds though. It's like that just seems painful.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is really fun. Like at the end of season 1, he was like pulling himself forward like a gorilla almost. So I got to do like these like those kind of noises. Like you don't always get to do that. It's cool to go into work and do that stuff.
Like, this is so much fun. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
You just mainline morphine and pray for the best. Like. And what was your question?
Okay, so
Favorite food?
yeah, like what's your favorite junk food to eat? Like takeout food, like McDonald's and as a
You don't mind.
Oh my god.
And do you have a favorite food?
Like, it's like a favorite fast food, junk food?
like fast food.
God. For a while it was the Cinnabons from Schlotsky's. Now it's Wendy's because she's my fast food waifu. After that whole Wendy's meme thing took off, like you saw, like where they anthropomorphized her or whatever, like just like Wendy's doesn't, Wendy's don't give a shit. Yeah, smug Wendy's, thank you. Like those are just like Wendy's is hilarious. Like I guess and in Texas at least, I don't know how y'all have Wendy's out in LA. Yeah. Like Wendy's for me, with the exception of like Whataburger, their burgers are the best, their fries are the best out of anything. So it's just like if I'm in the mood for some good French fries, just a pound, like Wendy's is my go-to.
Pound and fries.
The reason why I asked what's your favorite food is like, how would you feel if Aaron and Armin go to White Castle or something?
To White Castle.
White Castle.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
they got a White Castle.
And then one of the Titans is like one of the skinheads, and also what if someone takes her car?
This is an interesting spin-off.
So like this is a webcomic in the making right now. Let's see. Someone near the back. You in the very back, standing up. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So it seems like you two are actually enjoying each other for the presence and company-wise. By any chance, do you guys actually prank each other either at a convention or at a food? What do you guys do usually? Either very nice or just dramatic or
I don't think we've ever really pranked each other.
No, we haven't messed with each other. I mean, other voice actors do that to each other, but we played nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like a family. We're part of the trio.
Love all the rounds. we're gonna prank each other tonight.
Yeah,
It's like,
you
dude,
totally told him what was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're falling behind.
I've been working on this for a while, guys. Don't tell him. I'll go way in the back. All the way over there. Yeah.
Yeah, green shirt.
Out of the 4 characters you play as Aaron Yeager, Makoto Naegi from Danganronpa, or Ryo Kumura from Blue Exorcist, or Eugene Stark 7 from Almost Gun to Fire Blood and Orphan, which of the 4 characters is your best?
My best? I mean, how can I choose one over the other? Like, I get this question, like, who's your favorite character that you've ever played? And I feel like you get attached to your characters. Like, they're like my kids.
Pick a favorite child, Bryce.
Yeah, just pick a favorite crazy, insane child that lives inside your mind. Thanks, guys. They're all screaming at me right now. It's me, right?
For all those 4 characters, if you were to have a fight with each other,
See, I get this question too. Like, let your characters fight with each other inside your mind. Great. For that, so have you gotten that question? All your characters that you voiced, who would win in a fight?
Tyrion, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't get that very often. I do get the favorite thing a lot, but not fight. Like, most of my characters are like Armin. They don't really fight. They just plan.
Yeah. Scheming. I always say, when I get that question, if it's inside a game, it's always Kirito. Because Kirito is cheating.
Kirito's cheating.
He's got God mode running.
Oh my god, so OP.
His life bar is just like... doesn't even matter.
Let's see, you. Right here.
Mostly for Bryce here, because your answer to that question was very similar to what Jeremy had once said.
Okay.
How the characters just battle in her head for favorite. I was wondering, like, what's it like working with her on Confessionals?
Oh, it was fantastic. So, who has seen Confessionals? Okay, if you guys haven't, definitely go look it up. It's a really fun web series about voice actors going to conventions. And sorry if you guys heard this story, I told it yesterday, but we play twins in that show, in Confessionals. And there's a reason that we do that, and it's because of a sort of con horror story that happened to Jeremy.
Of course it happened to Jeremy.
Yeah, everything happens to Jeremy. So we were at this event, and this girl comes up to her, and she's like, "Oh, I really love your performance in Sword Art, and I love what your brother did in the show too." And she's like, "Oh, interesting, my brother's not in the show, he's at home." And she's like, no, your brother, Bryce. And she's like, yeah, Bryce, he's not my brother, we play off each other a lot, but he's not my brother. And she goes, yeah, he is. What? So Jeremy goes, yeah, you know what? I had a lapse in thought right there. Yeah, he's my brother, of course. I gotta go. And then she comes into our panel late, and she was like all like nervous and scared, and she just looks at me and goes, "You're my brother." So we were talking about that in the car on the way back to the airport, and Jeremy's husband John was like, "This is hilarious! Like, we should write like a web series." And Jeremy and I look at each other and we're like, "Yeah, you should write a web series about this." And he did, and it got kickstarted, and that was written into the series.
Awesome.
So yeah, we had a really great time shooting it. We shot a lot at a convention at SAC Anime that's happening this weekend, and we shot in front of like a live audience, which is always kind of crazy. But it all worked out. It's shot like The Office, and it's really funny. You guys should all check it out. Yeah,
you pick.
Right here in the front. Yeah.
If you guys didn't get Aaron or Armin, who else would you like to play in the show? What characters do you have like interest in?
Connie would be fun.
Yeah,
Connie would be funny.
That would be a good character. I mean, I wanted to play Levi. I think the casting choice was the right one. Like Matt Mercer as Levi is awesome.
Yes.
But I thought my effort was pretty good, and I think it would be cool to play a character like that. But yeah. So I'd say Levi.
Yeah, that'd be. I can hear that.
I don't know if I have the man voice for it, though. I'm eternally 15. My voice hasn't changed since middle school.
You and me both. Ladybug.
Who do you guys ship in Attack on Titan?
What? Oh, shit. Who do we ship?
Because, like, in junior high, Bertolt was with Annie, but Josh, I know you want Armin and Annie to get together.
Yeah, Arm and Annie. Yeah, that'd be fun. Levi and Windex.
Yep, that's a good one.
Did I get that from you? Was that did I hear that from you first? I'm pretty sure I got. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that from you first. Sorry.
I mean, no. My OTP is different. It's it's Derpy Titan, this one, and Santa Claus Titan.
Oh man.
Match made in heaven. Oh.
Come to me.
Do you guys excited?
Do what?
Would you guys be excited if there was Attack on Titan Junior High second season?
If they did like making fun of a lot of the stuff that happened in the second season, like I mean, I guess they could.
Yeah,
Because so much of it happens between the walls, like not stuff going on inside the walls, like they did for Junior High. But I mean, Junior High was very loosely based on everything. So
Exactly.
I guess they could. Yeah, they could do something like that.
I mean, it would be fun. It is a nice break from the seriousness of the series.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe after season 3.
Yeah. Let them animate that first.
Yeah, let's focus everything on that.
Because they have a. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of why it took so long for season 2, anyways, was because they had because they have such a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
At that studio, so it's just
It's one guy just come on.
Pretty much.
People are waiting for me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on. For 4 years.
Seriously, dude. No sleep. No sleep.
Sleep is for the weak anyway.
Your pick.
Let's go over here. Yeah.
I just want to know if you ever watched Attack on Titan Abridged, and will I be killed later for asking?
So have you watched Abridged?
I watched a little bit of Abridged, and I mean, I know the 4-star guys. We hang out occasionally. I play games with them and stuff. But before then, before meeting them, yeah, I had seen a little bit of Abridged. I got about as far as the you sound like a majestic freaking eagle. And I was just oh my god, you guys are freaking hilarious. But and
that's
then
my favorite part.
Yeah. Harmonize with me, maggots! And I get I never saw it, but I constantly get asked to be can you have Armin say, I'm in charge of the gas tanks, ding ding! And I have no idea what that means. By the time, I didn't get to see all of it because they took it down and all that stuff. And I get why they had to. And
Back up.
of course it is.
I kept getting asked also, have you seen this? Have you seen this? So finally I was like, let's watch it. And I was on a panel and I just threw it on and watched it with the whole panel, and it was really funny.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a fun way to do it. I was just cracking up and commenting on it as I was watching. But that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything they did with Sadis was freaking brilliant. Let's see. Who's not that? With the green hair.
I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and other than the ones that you previously mentioned, is there any other scenes that you enjoyed?
Any other scenes we enjoyed voicing?
Like sort of favorite moments
from the from Titan specifically. Okay. No spoilers, but Armin has a really, really great moment in season 2, and for those who haven't seen it, I won't go into particulars, but since you've seen the first season, basically, you remember the scene up in the when the scouts go beyond the walls and they're in that big the redwood forest basically, and he's up on top and he's talking with Jean, and he's saying, to rise above monsters, we must abandon our humanity, and what we fight, we become. He has a moment in season 2 where he kind of has to live up to those words, and it was another moment that was kind of I hope I get this right, because it's a big moment for him, but it was so much fun to record, and I love it. Like, it felt, I got chills doing it, and it felt really creepy and kind of
was.
dirty. Yeah, like kind of dirty, and I was just like, oh, my poor little cinnamon roll, what happened? Like, now he's my spicy cinnamon twist. Like, but yeah, go check it out. How about you?
There were some really good moments in season 2, some epic battles, and what I really liked, I do martial arts, and I started doing a little Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I really appreciate the martial arts in Attack on Titan. Mm-hmm. Like in season 1, Eren gets kicked in the head by Annie, and her style is Muay Thai, and I study Muay Thai, and actually the technique on her head kick is perfect. Yeah, you could take someone's head off with that.
Oh, God.
And in season 2, Eren, as in big Eren form, does a little Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like legitimately does a guillotine, does a triangle choke, does an arm bar. Like it's legitimate technique. So I thought that was really cool how they tied that into the show, and it was one of my favorite battles. I think in season 1, there's another moment that kind of stands out for me. And anytime someone's like, can you do a line from Attack on Titan? This is the line like I always go to. So to kind of set it up, Eren's inside the Titan's stomach. And then he like busts out, and there's this like little baby Titan, and he just like punts that one. And then he's like stepping on this other Titan's neck, and he's like, get up, let me kill you again, and again, and again. It's a good moment, I really like it.
You want to pick?
Sure. Yeah, over here. Yeah.
This one is for Armin.
Okay.
Are you autographing?
Oh, am I autographing? Yeah, after this panel, so I guess it'll be done just around 3. I'll be back at my table by 3:30. And yeah, I'm over by Bryce too.
Yeah, we're neighbors. So if you guys haven't come up and chatted with us, and if we don't answer your question in this panel, just please come up and ask.
Always happy to answer any questions. Yeah, please come up. How about Red Hat? You had a question a second ago. You had your hand up. Yeah. Oh, it's Ash.
Yeah. I had a question for both of you. If Eren and Armin had to like be in a different anime, they replaced the character in an anime, who would they replace?
Armin would replace Togami from Danganronpa. It's the same hair, but he would be a lot less of a douche.
Yeah. Man, I mean, you want them to replace them like well, or just like a funny like you just throw them in this world and they would be hilarious.
Funny one.
I mean, I want Eren in like a kid's show. Yeah, Eren in Miraculous, just like knocking the Eiffel Tower over. At the end of every episode in Miraculous, they have to do their like high five, which is like a fist bump. So they go, pound it! So if Eren was doing that in Miraculous, he'd just be like, pound it! Smash her!
You guys have 5 minutes.
So we just have about 5 minutes, so can we take like maybe 1 or 2 more?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sweet.
Pick
Great.
wisely.
We'll get as many in as we can. How about you right up front? You have this question.
What was your favorite Attack on Titan voice? Was it junior high or was it the original?
Favorite between regular Attack on Titan or junior high, which was our favorite voices?
I mean, there was no difference for me. Like, it was the same Eren and the same intensity, and just Eren wouldn't necessarily make those noises if he got hit by a dodgeball. But, like, it was the same, essentially the same voice that I used. So I like them both.
Yeah. Armin was a little harder for junior high just because we stuck with kid Armin voice for the whole thing. So, and instead of just like grown up Armin, you know, the way he sounds here, everything's kind of up here. Hi, Eren. Hi. You want to come in my futon? It's nice and futon. Just going ridiculous and goofy. But I will say I loved doing Bunny Armin. Bunny Armin at the cheeseburger stand after he's all like, oh, this is for This is for my friends, for humanity. I must sacrifice my manhood and set aside my pride. Do you like a cheeseburger? Come on, get cheese. It's just like, oh my god. He's ridiculous, and I love him. Oh yeah. I love
You
it.
don't get those opportunities too often.
Don't get to be like. We don't very often in anime get to be cartoony.
True. Yeah.
Because so many of the stories are like the characters. Even if the world is more fantastical, there's a lot of ridiculous stuff going on. The characters are still more often than not portrayed as being very realistic people.
True.
So it's really just us being ridiculous, but we don't really get to do the whole cartoony thing. Or
Yeah.
like throw out fun voices or creature things. And yeah.
It was good times. Good times. Maybe we'll get more after season 3.
That'd be fine.
Right here in front.
So you had mentioned all three of you, or two of you, sorry, voiced or auditioned for Aaron, Armin, and Levi.
Mm-hmm.
How would you have done those voices differently? Like if you had been landed a different role,
Oh,
how
wow.
would you yourself have actually done that voice?
I want to hear your Levi.
I might still have my auditions on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, I think I save everything. It's just a graveyard of auditions.
Auditions that could have been. Isn't that like most auditions though?
Yeah.
I was like, that's the business.
Exactly. I mean, I wish we had the sides in front of us, because the thing is, I don't have any of Levi's lines sort of memorized.
Levi in the miniskirt!
I mean, Levi wouldn't really say that about himself. He might, I guess.
Right.
But,
So how about this? Like for Armin, like a line for him would be like, to rise above monsters, we must abandon our humanity. If you do, what would your Armin be saying that line?
so I played him. I think your take on Armin, it has a little more, like, breathy than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think in my audition, I might have played him too little.
Okay.
Because what threw me off, in the auditions, they said Armin can be played by a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they were considering a woman to play him because of, how sort of soft he is
Yes.
in some moments. So I think I played him too little.
Okay.
So the line is, to rise above.
To rise above monsters, we must abandon our humanity.
And once a character is established, it's like, it won't sound right if you just do something different. It's not that character. Like,
Yeah,
you are that character.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I would have played him sort of like in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to rise above monsters, we must abandon our humanity.
Yeah.
Something in there is what I went for. You did much better.
Oh, okay. Well, and I think like for Aaron, like I'm trying to remember a lot of his lines. So like he give me an Aaron line, like something like something got a roll. Or,
I mean,
yeah. Right. So kind of like the get up, let me kill you again and again and again.
Yeah.
So like doing something like that, but like I can't find that like. You have this intensity and like and that gutturalness that you can bring that just sound, especially that messiness. I can't go messy, and like I can't reach that intensity, and like you.
I think I don't know if that's fair. I think you reach a similar intensity in a different way.
Okay.
Like you achieve like such intense performances.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a different way that I can kind of get to it with the like extra little gravel that I add.
I think actually what I did for Aaron was actually very close to what like you were doing for Armin when I auditioned. Like I remember like the line he's like, I'm gonna put a stop to this. No more, like that type of thing. So it was kind of more in that range. So it did not have that intensity. It did not have that like, no, this kid's broken. Like, this kid's messed up. And I think for Levi, it was really just kind of like it was like, hey kid. Like I essentially just did like my own like how does Mark Hamill sound like Han Solo? And that's what I did.
I've been told we have 4 more minutes, so
Oh,
maybe
we got an
one more question.
extension.
Awesome. We can take another question. Let's go right here. Yeah.
If, knowing that you're Aaron, how would you feel if you got Levi as a character and kicked yourself in the face?
So now hold on a second. How would I feel kicking myself in the face? Yeah, I probably wouldn't be happy. Actually, I would be happy as the kicker, not the kickee. And I have played both, so I know, in real life, I have played both. I have both kicked people in the face and been kicked in the face. I'll tell a quick story about getting kicked in the face. This will be fun. Yeah. So, have you only done stuff behind the mic, or have you done stuff in front of the camera, too?
I have not done anything about that. I've done stage.
Gotcha, stage.
Stage and microphone.
So I kind of grew up in an acting family, and for a short time I did a little bit of on-screen work, and I was cast in a commercial when I was about 13 years old. And it was one of those, I doubt that they had them here. There was like an anti-smoking campaign that was running in the States, and in this one it was like a karate-themed anti-smoking campaign. So what happens is the girl doesn't smoke, the guy smokes, the guy's all tired during his test, the girl does great. So I wasn't the guy, I was a guy that the girl sparred with. And what we did, they put equipment on us. I was a black belt, I was competing at the time. I had no idea who this girl was that I was sparring with, and we sparred. So like, I kind of went easy on her. I didn't want to hit her or anything like in front of the cameras. And there was a guy playing the referee. And when you're sparring in karate, the ref goes, break. And when they stop you, you touch gloves. You shake her hand. Uh-huh. So he goes, break. And I put my hands down, I go to reach and shake her hand, and she kicks me in the face. Like full on kicks me in the face.
Wow.
And that's what they used in the commercial. It's like, I swear it's like Rocky. It's like this. It's showing all their stuff, and then it cuts to me going, just getting kicked, like sweat going, flying off my face. And she legitimately kicked me. I found out later she was like the U.S. karate champion. So like, she was legit. And that's my on-screen experience.
So wait, so she knew what break meant?
Oh yeah, I was set up.
Wow.
She knew she was taking a dirty shot.
Uh-huh.
They had that all planned. Because they had to have the perfect shot of me to catch it like that in slow motion.
Man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to be all the time that we have today. Let's give a hand.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys.
Please be safe and enjoy the con.
Even if you are here for the next panel, we do have to reset the room, so we will ask everyone to please exit out those doors. Thank you so much.
And if you didn't answer or get your question asked, please come by and say hi and ask away. That was fun.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
When the question was asked about like swapping,